The Ocean Place Resort and Spa, Long Branch. A name that echoes with promises of tranquility and luxury, but in reality, a haven for disappointment and frustration. As I step into this supposedly esteemed establishment, I'm met with a sense of unease, a feeling that something is amiss. I recall the excitement with which I booked my stay, envisioning a relaxing getaway from the chaos of everyday life. But, alas, my expectations were crushed, much like the crumbling infrastructure of this once grand resort. The moment I arrived, I was greeted with a dismissive attitude, a tone that reeked of apathy. "It clearly states check-in is at 4, they sneered, as if I was some kind of simpleton who couldn't comprehend the most basic of policies. But that was just the beginning. The check-in process was a debacle, a never-ending saga of incompetence and disorganization. I watched as families, tired and weary from their journeys, were forced to wait in a sweltering lobby, their children whimpering with hunger and fatigue. And for what? So that the staff could leisurely attend to their duties, seemingly oblivious to the growing chaos around them? And then, the rooms. Oh, the rooms. A far cry from the lavish accommodations I had been promised. The air conditioning, a necessity in this sweltering summer heat, was broken. The workout room, a vital aspect of any respectable resort, was a humid, sweaty nightmare. And don't even get me started on the cable TV, a luxury that seemed to be an afterthought, a mere convenience rather than a necessity. But it wasn't just the physical aspects of the resort that were lacking. It was the very essence of the place, the sense of hospitality and warmth that one expects from a luxury establishment. The staff, it seemed, were more concerned with clocking in their hours than actually attending to the needs of their guests. They were inattentive, dismissive, and downright rude, as if our very presence was an inconvenience to them. And what of the management, you might ask? Oh, they were as elusive as unicorns, hiding behind a veil of excuses and broken promises. When confronted with a litany of complaints, they offered nothing but condescending smiles and hollow apologies, as if we, the paying customers, were somehow to blame for their own ineptitude. I think back to my own experiences, of being let down by those in positions of power. The times I trusted, only to be betrayed. The times I hoped, only to be disappointed. And it's in these moments that I realize, the Ocean Place Resort and Spa, Long Branch is not just a failed establishment, but a metaphor for the very fabric of our society. A society that prioritizes profits over people, that values convenience over compassion. So, I ask you, dear listeners, have you ever felt the sting of disappointment, the ache of unmet expectations? Have you ever been let down by those who promise to care for you, to provide for you? I thought so. And it's in this collective sense of disillusionment that I find solace, a sense of solidarity with those who have been wronged. But alas, I digress. The Ocean Place Resort and Spa, Long Branch, a place where dreams go to die, where expectations are shattered, and where the very notion of luxury is reduced to a farce. A place that will forever be etched in my memory as a monument to incompetence, a testament to the power of human negligence. So, I'll ask you again, dear listeners, what's the point of it all? Is it not time for us to demand more, to expect better, to hold those in power accountable for their actions? Or will we continue to settle, to compromise, to accept the mediocrity that is so often presented to us as luxury? The choice, dear friends, is ours.
Script content. You know, like, I was just looking into what happens near Ocean Place Resort and Spa, Long Branch, and wow. It's not great. Like, businesses there? Some of them are not honest. Tourists come thinking it's all nice and safe, but nope. So, businesses near Ocean Place Resort and Spa, Long Branch sometimes pretend to be super official, like tax collectors or something. There was this one where scammers walked into stores, even had fake badges, and told people they owed money or else, like, arrest? Really? And some even asked for other things to make it go away. Disgusting, right? And you know what? These poor people probably paid because they were scared. And then the scammers? Probably just moved to another storefront with a new story. Ugh. Then there's this other thing, contractor scams. Like, businesses near Ocean Place Resort and Spa, Long Branch, they'll set up shop, look totally normal, and then, boom, they take your money and ruin your stuff. One guy in a nearby town had a paving company, took deposits, and then destroyed driveways on purpose to charge more. And tourists? If they're renting a place nearby, what if they get tricked too? Like, imagine paying for a quick fix and then your rental's porch is suddenly cracked. And the contractor? Probably just changed the company name and did it again. And then, oh my god, there was this storefront that took $9,000 from someone for renovations, then ghosted them. Poof. Gone. Tourists wouldn't fall for that, right? Right? But what if you're just there for 2 weeks, you're relaxed, and someone says, oh, your rental needs urgent repairs. And you panic pay? And then, nothing. Just gone. It's so sad. Like, why can't people just not scam? Is that so hard? The businesses surrounding Ocean Place Resort and Spa, Long Branch, feel disheartening. It's a landscape where optimism goes to quietly expire, a place where the promise of a good time feels like a carefully constructed illusion. If I were to paint a picture, it would be in shades of gray, overlaid with a thin sheen of disappointment. It's as if the very air hums with unfulfilled potential, a silent chorus of dashed hopes. I've meticulously examined the feedback, and what emerges is a pattern, a pervasive sense of being taken advantage of. These aren't isolated incidents, these are symptoms of a deeper malaise. Let's start with accommodations. The Pier Village apartments, for example, represent a broader trend of deceptive practices. They present themselves as a haven of luxury, but the reality, as consistently reported, is one of broken promises and neglected upkeep. It's a game of bait and switch, where new appliances mysteriously morph into refurbished items, and essential services, like heat, are treated as optional extras. The frustration isn't just about a cold bathroom, it's about a fundamental disrespect for residents, a feeling of being deliberately misled. Several individuals described a chilling indifference from management, a deliberate avoidance of eye contact, a refusal to acknowledge legitimate concerns. One person detailed a truly disturbing voicemail exchange, the tone so rude it felt personal. The rent increases, described as arbitrary and unjustified, feel less like economic adjustments and more like a calculated extraction of value. It's a disturbing pattern, a sense that these apartments aren't about providing a home, but about maximizing profit at any cost. I find myself picturing a shadowy figure tallying up profits, utterly indifferent to the discomfort of those who reside there. It's a deeply unsettling image. This isn't an isolated case, it speaks to a wider issue of prioritizing short-term financial gain over the basic dignity of renters in the area. The landscaping issues, a bush obscuring walkways, a loose brick ignored until threatened with legal action, are telling. They're not mere oversights, they're symbols of a deeper apathy. Moving on to dining, Rooneys Oceanfront restaurant presents a similarly bleak picture. It seems a common thread is the feeling of being rushed. Diners repeatedly report feeling pressured to finish their meals, clear their plates, and ultimately, leave. It's as if the restaurant values table turnover more than customer enjoyment. One review described a particularly painful birthday celebration, the atmosphere poisoned by the relentless attempts to expedite their departure. They offered no special gesture, not even a simple happy birthday with dessert. It feels almost intentional. Beyond the rushed service, the quality of the food is a recurring concern. Overcooked seafood, dry steaks, incorrect orders, it's a catalog of culinary failures. One person received shrimp tacos where shrimp shouldn't be. A burned shrimp on a bowl. The sheer volume of complaints suggests this isn't a matter of occasional mishaps, but systemic issues in the kitchen. The management's response, offering a perfunctory apology and a free dessert, feels inadequate and insincere. It's a band-aid on a gaping wound. This is a place that trades on its location, banking on the beautiful view to mask a deeply flawed experience. It leaves me with a hollow feeling, a sense that something precious, the joy of a shared meal, is being sacrificed on the altar of profit. I can almost taste the disappointment. The Inkwell Coffee House, while seemingly offering a more casual experience, appears riddled with its own issues. The consistent complaints revolve around abysmal service, long wait times, inattentive staff, a general sense of being ignored. These are the hallmarks of a place where customers are treated as an inconvenience. The reports of rudeness are particularly concerning. One reviewer described a series of frustrating encounters, a feeling of being deliberately sidelined. There were incidents of drinks prepared incorrectly, orders forgotten, and a pervasive lack of accountability. The atmosphere, once described as inviting, now feels strained and unwelcoming. Several reviews mention the staff having a bad attitude, almost like they're doing you a favor by taking your order. The management, it seems, is either oblivious or unwilling to address these issues. It's a shame, because the potential for a cozy, community-focused coffee house is clearly there, but it's being squandered by a lack of care and attention. I experience a deep sadness picturing the hopeful customers entering this place, only to be met with indifference. Then there's Lana, a place that appears to be grappling with a severe identity crisis. The reports of a shift in atmosphere, from a relaxed wine bar to a rowdy nightclub, are troubling. But the